So over the past 1 month, we have seen strength in the markets with the US rebounding, even the STI, the Singapore market rebounding as well, due to some talks about inflation kind of like easing off and things are looking a little bit more positive, right? And we have the banks, right? The Dbs, UOB and even OCBC rebounding as well from the low we have seen about 1-2 months back, and they can't hit certain levels. So by selling, it's actually coming back over the past 1 to 2 weeks, right? So where are we right now? Is it time to lock in some profits or maybe think about getting in again? Hey guys, Joey here, top tier Remisier, trader in Philips Securities, and in this video we're talking about the Singapore banks, right? Dbs, UOB and OCBC, right? So these are the 3 banks which I talked about in a video about a month back, right? One in a month back actually, and they were actually at a lower end then, right? And they found some support, and that was before the markets actually rebounded, right? So yeah, they kind of like rebounded, but where are we right now? So in this video, let's dive into these 3 banks to look at the charts, we kind of see what some of the new support and resistance level, what is the trend looking like in the short term, maybe even in the longer term, and we will even dive into the system that I have, all right? This system called 1GT, all right? One good trend, whereby we had a couple of bullish and even bearish signals that came out, and let's see what it says on the system as well, right? So let's dive into DBS right now. And guys, if you like this video, I really appreciate if you can go ahead to give me a like as well. That will really help out the channel, and of course smash the subscribe as well. That will really help out as well, right? So thank you so much for watching. Let's go into Dbs Bank right now. So the first bank would be DBS right here, trading at about $32.70. So more than a month back, I did a video, I mentioned about this consolidation phase right here from about $29.50 to about that $31, right? So the $31 was a really key resistance. You can see we kind of like went down, all right, traded up, came down, traded up, came down, swinging up and down, right, in this consolidation phase below that $31. So when we kind of like broke this $31 somewhere around like end of July, 22nd of July, that was where there were some signs of strength coming back and a potential reversal back up. And when that happened, you can see that this moving average line, this 20 days moving average line started to slope up as well as it broke that $31. So definitely there's some signs of strength. There's a more short-term upside happening all the way to our targets that we got 32 and then the $34. So over the past 1 to 2 weeks, it seems like we have broken, right? So let me just go to draw it for you. So it seems like we have kind of like broken this 31. We consolidated briefly here. We broke that 32, went up to like 34. And we saw some selling coming back as well. So we kind of like hit our targets, came back down, which is good as well. I mean, a bit of profit taking, which is normal. All right, and we are seeing some consolidation right here in this range, right? So what is the support level right now? I would say that the support level would be around that $32, right? Why 32? Look at this right here. This was originally the resistance level. Look at this right here, a bit of resistance. We kind of like capped below. We were capped below. We broke up here as well. All right, there was early of August, we broke up here, and now this resistance would turn to be a support. And over the past 1 week, it seems like we are seeing some bargain hunting coming out near that 32 as well. You can see kind of like went to a low of around that 31.88, just below 32, and buyers came back up and it kind of like closed right above that 32, all right, at 32.04. Just about 3 days back, all right, and yeah, over the past few days, we are still holding above 32, and you can see that this is where the 100 days moving average line is as well, right? So if we can like stay above the 100 days, which coincides with this 32, is actually looking quite okay as well in the short to mid term. Okay, so potential upside is all the way up to that $34. I think that would now be kind of like the range from 32 to about that $34, right? Why 34? You can see it was originally the support as well. Look at this right here. You can see a bit of support. We broke down, went all the way down, and now this support has turned to be what we call a resistance level, right? So this is DBS. I think it looks quite good in terms of the short term. If we can hold above that 32, all right, I think it looks quite good in the short term, right? We might potentially see a bit of a rebound all the way to like 33, 34, around there, and that's where some selling can actually come back again near 34, right? So if you come like take some profit, you can think about taking some profit near 34 because that's where selling can happen. But if you do break that level, like what we have seen previously as well, somewhere in January, you can see when we broke 34, it started to shoot up. We broke 34, started to shoot up. Right, that's what can happen as well. We might consolidate here as it swings up and down, and eventually attempt to break this 34, right, for more upside to happen, right? And that's what can happen. Okay, and when it does break 34, the next target can be revised all the way to maybe that 36 or maybe towards that 37, which is kind of like the previous high we've seen just before this sell down that we've seen since March and Feb when the market started to sell off, right? So this is DBS right here. The range is 32 to 34 for now. Right, so this is DBS quick one on my 1GT system, whereby we have a couple of bullish and even bearish signals that came out for the past few months, right? So you can see last year there was some good bullish signal right at the bottom. It started to shoot up all the way, got exit, and then the market started to turn a bit more bearish, and that's where we had some bearish signals coming out. The red arrows down, went down, red arrow down, went down, right? So kind of like sold off. You can see from like April all the way to like June, a couple of bearish signals is sold off. The trend bar also turned to red in color, right? But somewhere around like July, 20th of July, we got this new bullish signal that came out. As mentioned, that was where we were consolidating, all right, just below that 31 level, all right? So we got this bullish signal that came out. Eventually, we broke 31, started to went up, and recently we got this exit, right? This exit signal that comes out, which kind of like shows that there's some profit taking. Nothing wrong to take some profit as well. If you've got in near the bottom, right? It's good to protect your profits as well, all right? So is there another new bullish signal? Right now there aren't any new bullish signal that came up. As I say, as long as we hold above that 32, yeah, we might see, right? If we hold above 32, I think if we see a new bullish signal coming out, that could point to more strength coming back as well. All right, maybe 32, we see a bullish signal, it might consolidate from 32, 34, and eventually if it breaks the 34, as I mentioned, that's where more upside can actually happen. All right, so this is what it says on my system. All right, we had an exit, no bullish signal, but we'll see what it says over the next 1 to 2 weeks as well. All right, let's dive into UOB right now, trading at about 27.28. So I would say that UOB looks a little bit more bearish for now. All right, so let me explain why. You can see that we found some support as well. All right, just around June, July. All right, somewhere around that $26 level. It was a little bit of a good support, rebounded from there somewhere in November, December last year, went up, and we kind of like found the support and started to see a bit of rebound as the markets rebounded as well. You can see 20 days moving average turning up, right, and it rebounded and went above that 27, right? But it seems like this resistance, right? I mentioned about this resistance at $28 many times. I mentioned this $28 is like a very key resistance. Even before this COVID, right, we were trading below it. All right, went down. We touched it once somewhere in November, came down, and you can see it was resistance. Then let me just show it for you. You can see a little bit of resistance. It turned support. It rebounded, and finally we broke down. So this 28 seems like a really firm resistance level, and we actually attempted to break, right, or to go above that 28 level, right, just about 2 to 3 weeks back. You can see, right, so we kind of like went up, but the next day sellers came back and push it all the way back down below that 28. So it seems like 28 seems like a really firm resistance for now, right? Anything below 28, unfortunately, we are still seeing some signs of bearishness coming in, right? So that could be the downside for UOB right here from 28, maybe all the way back down to that 26 again. So it looks a little bit more bearish because, as I say, this 20 days moving average, you can see that it was like sloping up, and right now it's starting to flatten out, and of course, prices have gone down below the 20 days moving average. And if this moving average 20 days starts to point down, all right, and is to stay below that 27, I think that's where we might see some selling all the way back down to 26. All right, so it's a bit more bearish compared to DBS, where we have found some support and it's still holding above that support, and the moving averages are still turning up. In this case, it's kind of like sloping down, all right, and we are below this 20 days moving average line, which is kind of like sloping down right now. Okay, and of course, for the mid to long-term trend for UOB, you can see this 100 days moving average has kind of like crossed down below the blue line, the 200 days moving average. So it's looking a little bit shaky as well, even though in the short term you can move up and down, but in the longer term right now there are some signs of weakness as well. So just take note, this 28 would be a key level. We definitely want to like go above that 28, stay above, and if it does happen, then yeah, we might see some upside coming back, and that's where the reversal up can be more firm. If not, we might just be in this range. So if you're looking to buy on dips, all right, to kind of like get in on dips, you can consider near 26. As I say, 26, 25, 50, these are all where we can potentially see some good bargain hunting. So if you approach at 26, you can start to think about timing your entry to kind of like catch the rebound if you're going more for the longer term. Alright, so this is UOB right here. Let's take a look at what it says on my 1GT system. Okay, here's UOB on my 1GT system. Alright, so a couple of good bullish signals somewhere in like December. Look at this right here. December was trading about 25.50, went up, got an exit, another one, and then we got some exit and started to come down, right? So I think somewhere around May, April, there were some bearish signals coming out. Look at this right here, went all the way down and started to consolidate. The trend bar is still red in color, but we had this new bullish signal 20th of July coming out. It started to push up, and we got an exit, and right now we got a new kind of like a bearish signal coming out, right? So it doesn't look that good, I would say. As I say, this 28 seems like a really firm resistance level. We do stay below, I think this bearish signal might start to play out. We might probably head towards that 26, 25, 50. I think that's where some bargain hunting can come back again, right? So let's see, right? I think anything below 27, all right, anything below 28 to 27, we might look a little bit more bearish, but it can be a good opportunity as well, because as we head lower to certain good support, like I mentioned, 25, 50, 26, that's where we become rebounded. I think that's where you can also think about getting in, and maybe if it hits there, we see a new bullish signal, we can actually start to load up again to ride the rebound. Alright, so here's UOB on my 1GT system. Got a bearish signal so far, right? There are no exits yet on this bearish signal. Okay, next one will be OCBC. So guys, if you like this video, I appreciate if you can give me an early thumbs up or hit the subscribe as well. That will really help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this, right? So let's dive into this bank called OCBC, trading at about $12.08. So this is more than a month back. I mentioned about this resistance level whereby we were trading below. It is the $11.50 level. You can see we were consolidating below it for like about 1 month plus, right? Just below the 1150, and the 20 days moving average, this green line, you can see started to flatten out finally. It was like just pointing down, right? So it started to flatten out somewhere around mid of July, right? So it flattened out and started to point up, and of course we broke this 1150 level. So when we broke this 1150, the green line, 20 days moving average started to slope up. These are all signs of the short-term trend turning up, right? And that's where you can kind of like time your entry to get right the rebound, all right, all the way up to maybe 12 to 1250. That would be kind of like the upside targets, right? So let's see where we are right now in terms of the new resistance level. I think right now the resistance level will be quite clear, and this would be the resistance at about the $12.50 level. Look at this. I think it's quite clear. You can see that we have kind of like touched it 1, 2 times, 3 times. This was last year. All right, and you can see when we broke up, you can see started to trade up, and we broke down again, a bit of a resistance, and yeah, I think just about 1-2 weeks back we kind of like touched it and came back down. So 1250 would be a really key resistance level for now. I think that would be where some selling is actually coming back. The fact that we touched about 3 or 4 times and we came back down, so it's good to also think about locking in some profits near there, because that's where selling is actually returning, right? But what about the support? I think support wise would be around this level. So this was like the resistance level, the $12, which we also broke up. Let me just turn this to green in color, because I think right now this would be the support, and over the past 2 weeks it seems like we have found some good support, or this consolidation, right, from 12 to 1250. So that is now the range. I think it's quite clear. It's about 12 to 1250, about a 50 cents range. We are actually consolidating here, all right, and we might actually attempt to break this 1250. So right now you can see this is the range, right? It's consolidate up, swing down, it swings up, it swings down, it swings up. So we might just consolidate here, and eventually, if we can really break this 1250, right, 1250, I think that is where more upside can actually happen, all right, and that's where our targets can be revised higher finally to that 13 to 1350, all right, which will be that previous high we've seen just in February before it sold off. All right, so this is OCBC. I think it looks quite good right now. Let me just shift it back here. I think that would be the range. Anything above $12, it looks quite good in the short term. In fact, it's one of the more defensive one, right? It didn't really sell off that much compared to like Dbs and UOB. It kind of like sold off a little bit and found some good support and started to see a bit of rebound, and now we are back to that consolidation, right? So this is the range right now. It's about 12.08, right? It could be a good opportunity as well if you're looking to get it on dips to ride the range. 12.05, 12.08, anything above 12, it could be a good level, right, to time your entry to get in, all right, to catch the rebound to 12.50 and a potential break of that level. Okay, so this is OCBC on my 1GT system, quick one. I think recently I got a couple of bearish signals since like May, June, right? It's sold off a little bit, or I went to a low of about $11, $11.50 I mentioned, and then we got this new bullish signal that came out somewhere around 28 July. just before it started to rebound back up. So yeah, we've got this bullish signal. You can see went up from like about 1140, 1150, and I mentioned about this 1150 that we broke, right? So we kind of broke the level, we went up, and yeah, it seems like we got an exit signal that just came out, right? So yeah, exit doesn't mean it's like bad, it'll just come all the way down. No, it just means that it's good to probably lock in some profit. As I mentioned, that 1250 is a resistance level, so if it does near that, also good to lock in some profit, put it in your pocket, protect your profits. That's what an exit signal means, right? But doesn't mean it cannot go up some more, because we might just consolidate, and if we do see like a new bullish signal coming out, like a green arrow pointing up again over the next few days, or next few weeks, that's where we could be good as well, and we might potentially break the 1250, right? So this is OCBC looking quite good. We got a bullish signal, we got an exit. No signal for now, no entry signal for now, but we'll see if that comes out over the next few weeks. Yes guys, so there we have it. We have pretty much covered the three Singapore banks again, DBS, UOB and OCBC. So I hope you have a clearer picture of where we are right now. I mean, compared to more than a month back where I did the video on the banks again, we have kind of like, as I mentioned, rebounded back up, but there are selling seen, right, in some of the banks, right? And you want to take note of where the selling can actually happen again, and that's where you can also think about, kind of like selling, locking in some profits, reducing your positions, lock in some profits. That's perfectly fine as well, because at this point in time, when we hit to certain resistance level, you touch many times, it comes back down, it shows that sellers can come back out at that level again, right? So I hope you have a clearer picture of what are some of the key support and new resistance levels that have came out over the past few weeks, right? So yes, let me know what's your thoughts on these three banks right now. Let me know in the comments below what's your biggest takeaway, and yeah, let me know, and of course give me a like as well. Hit the subscribe button, that will really help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this. And if you want to find out a little bit more on the whole entire framework or the strategy behind, and even like the system that I shared with you guys, the 1GT, One Good Trend system, right? Make sure you attend one of those web class which I'm still running. Alright, click on the link around this video, there will be a link, and that's where you can attend one of these free web class to learn a bit more on the entire strategy behind how do we tell the trend, how do we know when to get in and get out along with the trend and all that. I think you will definitely benefit from it, right? So go ahead, click around this video to attend one of those free web class if you have not yet done so, and I look forward to see you real soon in the next video. Joey here, take care.